we're setting up a little kick drum and a hi-hat, and like automatically we're just getting like static right off because bluegrass has no has percussion but no drums. You can't set up any piece of a drum. And like I don't know. So,
we're a hybrid of all that. That was just something that influenced us along the way.
but there's certainly like elitists in every
Absolutely, big time, big time. Old timers, like the old time musicians in some of the parts of North Carolina and Tennessee and Kentucky, which can be, it sounds funny, but some of the old time musicians, it can be a pretty hip thing. Like these punk rock kids will latch on to the old time scene, and you like in Asheville, North Carolina, or Athens, Georgia, and there's like some old time fiddle players that are just, I don't know where these people come from. It's great.
Old time is a lot like death metal, more than you would think
They
the
are.
scenes are, because they're
yeah. Also the speed,
really true.
The speed of it as well. Like the players, some of them, like it's about speed. It's about like, how quickly you can, how quickly your fingers move. It's a bizarre thing. I mean, okay, it's coming from an acoustic instrument, but I mean, plug it into a huge stack and trade out the banjo for a Jackson guitar or something. Who knows?
The people that are content and confident, and they're great at what they do, and they're good people in that, just like there's death metal, there's death metal people that appreciate what we do, and we're not. I was thinking earlier, there's been a couple bands we've talked to here, met, and they said, well, we sound like, the Smashing Pumpkins, or hey, well, we're kind of like that Arcade Fire thing. Well, when we're sitting here thinking about what we want to be, I want to be, when somebody says, what do you like? Well, we're like Helmet was. We're kind of like that band. You know what I mean? I don't really want to be able to tell them anything. I want them to be, there's going to be bands that go, I like the Avett Brothers. Sort of. And that's just luck. If that is what happens, that's just luck. We didn't devise any of this. We just came from the hard rock, which was a rebellion against growing up in the country, and then the country that we just couldn't shake that we grew up with, which is there, and it was natural. So just harnessing that with what we've learned. I a lot of times will say, if like Bob Dylan was doing what he was doing in the 60s, since the 60s, and that's just, was folk and lyrics, since the 60s there's been all these things in music that have happened. So now there's all these things that you can take from and learn from. Now just do it again, What if Dylan had heard the Bad Brains, this is in a t-shirt, the Bad Brains, and how would that have affected him,
We got so much to draw from. Why not? Why not draw from it?
Country like Tom T. Hall and Merle Haggard. It was some Bob Dylan, maybe some John Denver.
And then mainly it was early Van Halen.
But before that, it was El DeBarge, Prince, Michael Jackson, Hall & Oates, and all that pop was. That was what we were.
Right.
I loved Hall & Oates. He loved El DeBarge.
I did.
And we were just like, we worshipped that and we watched it.
Just reminds me, we had a family reunion a couple months ago, and my sister and I played piano at the end of the family reunion. We'll sing hymns, and I was more nervous than I've been in years.
I was going to say at church, that's a terrifying place to play for people.
Because everyone it's going to be quiet. You're in a sanctuary. I don't know. There are much more nerve-wracking situations than playing in front of thousands of people, for sure.